everybody, and welcome back to Cycle Fab. My name's Larry. In today's video, I'm going to be going over a few things as far as assembly on this motor back here. We'll be doing the ignition first, just simply because it was out in the open. There's something I need to show you on that. If you're messing with the GS550 or any of the Suzukis, this pretty much stays the same with them throughout. The early 80s anyway, when it comes to the electronic ignition and the way it's reassembled. Also, another thing I want to cover is getting the rings on the pistons, which you can see here. I got this one already done. I want to go over with you guys as far as replacement factory rings go for the Suzukis, at least in this instance. These things fit great. This circumstance here was a little bit different than normal, or from what I'm used to. I haven't done a lot of these, but anyway, follow along with me and you'll see what I'm talking about. Hey, let me go ahead and shut up, get on with the video. Okay, let's start assembling this motor. Now, I'm going to start off with the electronic ignition. The reason why is because it just so happened to be here on my gap, the rings for the pistons. Get that installed. Hopefully, everything will be cool with all that, and it will go in a timely fashion. And then continue on throughout the bike, or throughout the motor rather, and ignitions. Electronic ignitions, Suzuki, Honda, all of them really. I love electronic ignitions. I mean, they are just great. Just basic, straightforward, really nothing to break other than a spring. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put this together very quickly. There's a notch on the bottom of this assembly right here. I don't know if you can see it. There you go, right there. Anyway, it lines up with a pin on the crankshaft. You just simply push it in there and let it line up. It shouldn't be stuck. Now, there we go. All right. Let's screw this on. Now, I'm just putting this on here hand tight right now. This plate right here, okay? It only goes on one way, all right? With this tab to the back, inset like this. And there's 3 holes in it. Now, you cannot flip this around and screw it on there. It will be close, but it will not fit. So, which is good, that way you don't put it together incorrectly. Anyway, goes in like this, just like that. See, all the holes line up just the way they're supposed to. And then this plate fits over the top of that. And these screws, these 3 screws that go in here, you will look at them and you will say, oh, it's a Phillips screw. No, it is not. It is a JIS screw, Japanese Industrial Standard Screw Head, all right? If you use a Phillips on them, you will ruin them. A Phillips screwdriver. Do not use a Phillips screwdriver on these screws. Use a JIS screwdriver, okay? You can get them in 3 packs. They're not very expensive. I think, what, 20 bucks, something like that, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. But you can get these on Amazon. I have a link down below in the description area. Really, if you're gonna be working on any Japanese motorcycles, get these, okay? Just get the pack of 3, that's all you need. And they're great. These actually lock in. I love these. I like these a lot more than Phillips. However, I do like socket head better than anything. Anyway. Go ahead and reinstall this, get these screws in here. You know, if I decide to keep this ignition and use it, I'm going to take this old wire cover off of here. I have some better stuff, more modern, and feel more comfortable using it. Besides, this is all stained and dirty, and that's just not acceptable. Can't do that. I mean, I can use it just to see if it runs and all that, yeah, but, you know, finished product, no. This is going to have a very nice looking piece of insulation on it. Yeah, you get that plate on the right way, these screw holes just line up, and that's it right there. All right. Now, okay, that's installed. I'm not going to put the cover on it right now. Let's go ahead and move over to the cylinder head and also the cylinders themselves. I want to go ahead and hone those out and get the rings fitted, gapped properly. I've got the old rings, and what I want to do, I'm going to push the old rings down in there and measure them just for the heck of it, because I've got them and my own curiosity. If you guys like this video so far, then please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and go ahead and hit that notification bell too so you know when my next video is coming out. Now, let's get on with this engine assembly. Before I went ahead and started just popping rings onto pistons, I took a set of the old rings and I set them inside these cylinders and measured the gap, just out of curiosity mostly. Now, this engine has 14,000 miles on it. And the ring gap was worn to 17 thousandths. In other words, it measured 17 thousandths ring gap. Tolerance, as it says in the book, or at least this climber manual, is 6 to 12 thousandths, not to exceed 30 thousandths. So at 17 thousandths, it was well within its tolerance of safety. Anyway, what I did is I did some research first. I went and talked to technicians who actually do this for a living. I do not do this for a living. And so whatever I do, you may or may not want to follow. Now, I put each set of factory rings in the cylinder that it's going to go into and gap them. They fell well within tolerance, actually to the high side of it. Starting at this cylinder right here, let's say cylinder number 1, it measured 10 thousandths, which is well within 6 to 12. These two here measured 11 thousandths, this one measured 12, and everything's fine. I made this neat little plug to push my rings down to. You can see a little clip of it here. But they said that rings nowadays, if you're just doing a factory replacement, in other words, just changing out rings, still using the stock pistons, stock jugs, everything else. I'll put a part number down in the description below if you want to check these out. If you do have a Suzuki GS550 and if you want to do this is what you need to get. Now, it's really interesting thing about this, which one you know how it goes in order, is that the chrome ring is a thick ring. You have several rings in here, 2 of which are thick solid steel. All right, and be very careful with these. They will break very easily. Anyway, the top ring, the outside of it is chrome, all right, satin chrome. The middle ring, or the next ring, is just black. After that, you have the oil ring and the bordering rings that go around it, basically 2 flat rings with this corrugated looking thing in the center. And the way you put these on is very straightforward. You put the O-ring on first, at least this is the way I was shown. And then you go ahead and put the border rings around that. After that, you do number 2 and number 1 ring, top ring being the last. Anyway, do it however way you feel comfortable with, is what I say, but for me, it worked out well. So I'm gonna stay doing it that way. So y'all just sit back, enjoy, watch me put these rings on. I'll try to give you some really good close-up shots. And anyway, let's do this. All right, hey, that came out great. I didn't break anything, so, that's a big plus right there. The little tedious things are the things that take time, details like this, kind of get boring after a while. This is a lull in building a project, but anyway, you get used to it. So I wanna get back to this, get this engine going. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Remember, please hit that like button if you like the video, subscribe to my channel, and go ahead and hit that notification bell too so you know when my next videos are coming out. I'll see you guys next Sunday. Y'all take care now. Bye.